I'm telling my truth, but I'm leaving some things out to make them want more. And that'll be in part two.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. This is another episode of Writing Inspirations with Markee Books. I'm your host, Enrique Berry, and here we have our guest for this week, Lakenya Spikes. Hello, Lakenya. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming today. So, tell me, Lakenya, how long has you been a writer?
I would say about 2 years now. I tried to write my book in 2018, but I had to go through some more things and forgive some more people in order to write my book because it's nonfiction. So yeah, it's
Oh,
been 2 years since I've written my book.
okay. So, you published it 2 years ago?
No, it's actually in the process of being published. Today I should receive the final all over book so I can read it and approve it, and then we go into publishing.
I see. So tell me, how did you get the inspiration to tell your story now?
Like I said before, I tried to write it in 2018 and, just doing it on my own, I couldn't get past the first chapter. My book is spiritual, so God is involved in my book a lot. So I had to go through some more things. I had to forgive some more people. I had to do some more healing from the pain that I write about. And in 2022, November, God was like, it's time. It's time for your story to be told. It's actually a book to help other people overcome the same thing I did. So that gave me the inspiration. It was some things that was going on in November every year. And that year he was like, it's done. Now it's time to write. And I went through it. I wrote in 6 months. I was done with 16 chapters.
Wow.
Yeah.
So like 200 pages?
Um, yeah, or more. My goal was 50,000 words, and I end up writing 62,368 words.
It happens.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Did you get inspiration from other authors or it's mostly only your own experience?
Um, I'm a book reader. I love reading books. I just seen a memory on my social media 9 years ago when I was telling people about a book that I was going to write, not really just knowing when. So it's been a while. It's been a while that I've been wanting to write. I never knew where to start. So I prayed on it and I let God guide me, and he start now. Now is the time. Just write. Don't think, just write. And later on, I had the chance to, put it all together.
So tell me, what's the most difficult thing you struggle with when you started writing?
I didn't struggle. I didn't have any struggle because I wasn't doing it myself. I wasn't doing it on my own. God was guiding me. I would say what was complicated was the outline, putting the chapters together. And because I really had 27 chapters and I just broke them all down into 16. So I really still have the 27 chapters. It's just two are in one chapter. So it's different portions in my book.
Hmm,
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, that's a way.
Yeah, because I didn't want to remove anything because my book is actually it's telling my story, but it's helping others as I tell my story.
That's okay. So, did you get the inspiration directly? I mean, the idea to tell your story by God, or did He put someone in your life that mentioned you, hey, you should tell people this to help? Or it's something that born from you?
I got it from God. He let me know that my story will help someone else. I actually had to pray to a point where to not feel embarrassed or ashamed of, what I've been through, because it's other men, women have been through the same thing, just different people, different times, different circumstances. So my thing was not worrying about what people would say or how they would think are just how I would think of myself once my story was out. I had to get to the point where it was no shame, no embarrassment, because knowing that I'm helping someone else.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me, do you feel like you changed as a person since you started this transformation, this writing?
It is so funny that you asked me that because, yes, that is the answer. As I was writing, I was having breakthroughs. I was getting understanding. Like, as I'm writing, I'm crying and I'm telling this in my book because as I'm writing at that particular time, I'm understanding why I had to go through things I went through. So I let the readers know that as I'm writing these words, tears are rolling down my eyes because now I understand. You know what I mean? So it helped me grow as a writer and it helped me grow as a person because I was getting understanding. God was giving me wisdom at the same time. It was amazing. And I think that's why I end up writing 16 chapters in 6 months.
Yeah. So do you like organize it yourself? Like you have like a number of words you wanted to write a day. You like organize it your time of the day with your work, etc.
When I started with someone that would help me. I was in a group of with other inspirational writers that wanted to write their book and stuff like that. And, she helped me through a lot, but then, things happened. So I think her time was to help me get started. Um, After that, I was with this group for about 2 months. And then after that, God was like, it's just me and you. So getting it organized, they helped me come up with the set limit of 50,000 words. But when it was just me and God, I told you I ended up writing 62,000. It was things that I had forgotten about, and he just brought them to the forefront, which meaning that I healed from that pain and I was able to write about it without stopping. Because that's what happened in 2018. I tried to write and I still wasn't healed. So I couldn't write anymore. So this time when I start writing, I was able to write and feel those emotions and not let it affect me because I know I was helping someone save their life.
Yeah. Sometimes we need to be able to feel certain emotions again, even after so long, to finally realize that it's over.
Yeah. Yeah. I am healed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So reminding it's not exact, no, it's not bad. And acting like it's never happened never helps.
Right. That's where I had to come to terms of not being embarrassed and not being ashamed of what I had to go through, the things that happened to me, because it's still going on in the world right now today.
Tell me, do you have like an advice for new writers starting with their dream right now?
My advice that I would give a new writer is, we all have a story to tell. And if we don't tell that story, it's someone dependent on us to help them, whether we know it or not. So telling our story, it actually helps us and it helps someone else because someone is going through the same thing. We are not alone in whatever we went through, and everything we went through was for God's purpose to bring that story to life. And here I am before you telling my story.
Oh, wow. That's gave chills.
Yeah.
So, do you have like a story how you ended up naming it?
You know what? Yes, this is well actually it was easy to name my book, which is titled Overcoming Your Monsters, because I had monsters in my life, and monsters can be in the form of people, situations, decisions, circumstances, anything that we think is bigger than ourselves. And I had to overcome a lot of monsters in my life. And my story is telling about the monsters I had to overcome as well as helping someone overcome theirs at the same time.
Yeah, it's a simple, but it's on the it's on point. It's a simple
Yeah,
name, but it's on point. It
yeah,
said what it needs to say.
yeah. Just the book cover itself is going to grab attention, which Markee helped me design the whole book. He's so amazing.
I'm happy that you like it.
Yes, I love it. I can't wait to really start advertising and promoting it because just the book cover itself, people are gonna be like, "What is that about? I need to know."
You are self promoted, right?
Yes, but I am working with a publishing company.
Oh,
Yeah,
can you tell me the name?
Urban Book
Okay.
Publishers. And we've been working on this project since January this year. And today I should get the final overall book so I can read it and approve it. And so we can go into publishing, which I
So,
will be published on 6 platforms.
so tell me, after this, are you planning to keep this work as a writer, or do you think that you already told your story, you feel fulfilled?
You know what? I believe that there's gonna be a part two. Only God knows when, because my book is tell most, not all. So on part two, I will fill in the blanks of this book that's coming out, and it'll make a person like, oh, okay, now I understand. I'm telling my truth, but I'm leaving some things out to make them want more. And that'll be in part two.
That's happened.
Yes.
Have you
So
thought
with
that?
that, I'm looking to make it maybe a podcast. It might become a movie. I know this book will open doors for me, and I just put it in God's hand and let Him do what He gonna do with it.
Have you thought about making a type of a spin off, asking someone related to yours, telling the story from the perspective of that person?
I have not, but in my book, I have wrote about a story of someone that, went through the same thing that I did. They were actually supposed to do what I'm doing now, and they missed their calling. So God handed me the torch, and here I am.
Huh, okay.
Yeah.
So, for now, you don't plan to keep the story going till you're sure.
You know what? I don't know. I'm trusting the process that God is taking me through. Like I said, I know this book is going to open doors, and wherever they lead me with this book, I will go. I trust God to put it in millions of hands because actually the world needs this book right now. Because it's so many monsters in the world of different kind.
Yeah.
So wherever God say go, I am going. If He say keep writing, I'm gonna keep writing because even after I've written this book, I still live in life. I'm still going through spiritual things. So I have a lot to write about. I just had to stop myself at 62,386 words.
Do you feel it heavy or was it easy for you sit and write? I assume in PC.
It was, first I started with writing with pen and paper, you
Oh.
know? Yeah. And I think I did about 5 chapters like that. And then God was just like, it's time to go digital because that's easier. I had got advice from my writing coach at the time to do digital, but at the time I was just writing. I wasn't thinking. So whatever came to my mind, I needed pen and paper in my hand and I would just write it down. So it took me at least like 2 months to go through all that and put like this going to be in chapter 15, this going to be in chapter 9, this is going to be in chapter 10. So it was a whole big process, but it was easy because God was guiding me. And I used to be up at like 4 a.m., 3 a.m. writing, knowing that I had to be to work at 6 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, are you planning like promote your book, going to events or something?
You know what? I have invitations to do that. I have so many resources where I can reach out and have someone to help me do that. I'm actually trying to save as much money as I can.
Of
I've
course.
had so many different businesses to where I know how to promote myself. It's just who I am now. I'm a different person spiritually. So I'm just trusting God. I do what I do, and then I trust Him to do the rest. But yeah, I will be self promoting myself.
Do you have like help, family, a community?
No, it's just me and God. That's it.
Wow.
Like right now, my family don't even know about my book. They don't even know I written a book. And in my book, there's a sentence where I write, become something that no one thinks you will ever become. And that's what I'm becoming, a author.
I understand the feeling. I haven't told my own family to, mostly because, but it's not that I'm embarrassed of what I write,
Right.
but I wanted it to be a surprise.
Yeah.
I wanted to have the book in my hand and then
Yeah.
give it. I
Yeah.
say I wrote this.
Yes.
Mostly because my mother is a very avid reader, so I was dreaming to do something like that.
Okay, nice, nice.
Yeah,
You know what, mine's is, if it is a surprise, it will be like a real surprise because everyone that I was used to be around, they put me in a box and I always outgrew the box. You know what I mean? So with me writing this book, it might bring jealousy, it might bring envy, it might be because of just who I am. You know, God has had his hands on my life all my life, and people see his hand in my life. So it's like, why you so special? Why you get to do this? Why not? But I choose to follow this call that he's called me to.
that's because God helps those that help themselves.
Yes. Yes. And this is one thing that, and I believe, instead of my family being happy for me, it would be the opposite.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, maybe some will.
I just live my life. So,
You mentioned
most of
it.
the,
You mentioned the forgiveness at the start. Yeah,
yeah.
I agree with that because in the end, forgiveness is more for yourself than for
Yes.
others.
Yes. Yes. That is true. This,
Because really, unless the other person is asking specifically for that, which I don't think it's necessarily a good thing because I feel that when a person feel really sorry about it, they act upon it and not
yes.
ask for forgiveness.
Correct. That is correct.
So
But
that's
we have to do it for ourselves, not for others. And I had to learn that, and it actually made me a better person. Like, I am so quick at forgiving. Like, I can't hold on to the hurt and the pain, because then it stops me from growing. It stops me from progressing. So this book is, it's a lot for me. It is a lot. It's freedom. It is releasing things that was swept under the carpet. It is letting those know that hurt me that they are forgiven, because I trust God to put that book in their hands just so they can repent and ask God for forgiveness for the hurt that they have caused, not only to me, but to others, and to show them how to start living their life right.
of course.
Yeah.
So, in what platforms can people expect to buy your book later on?
I will be published on Barnes and Noble, Apple, Google Books. I don't want to be published on Amazon. My book is going to be print on demand.
Oh,
Um, because my story is so, I want to say, expensive, not in money wise, that you have to order it to understand, what this is. Like, it is literally to help you change your life. I don't want no one getting sneak peeks, like, oh, they'll go and read and then they never purchase. Um, so I have a reason for doing everything that I'm doing. I requested, I did not want to be on Amazon, even for as like, you know, getting the profits from that, because Amazon has is easily being hacked and everything. So, everything comes to me. My publishing company is just helping me publish my book. So it's trust there. Amazon has already shown me that I can't trust them. Um, so yeah, I will not be published on Amazon.
Okay.
And it's on print on demand.
Well,
So yeah, it'll be 6 platforms.
that's actually quite enough, honestly. Amazon is not the only one. If you say that there's six, I think it's good enough.
Yeah, it's 6. It's like I said, it's Barnes and Nobles. They really wanted to pick me up, but I had to, purchase a certain amount of copies to have the space on the shelves and everything. And I was like, why would I do that if I'm already going to be published on your platform? So, but it was just a form of trying to get more money, and I'm trying to save much as I can. So it will be Barnes and Nobles, it'll be Google Books, it'll be Apple Google, it'll be Lulu, it'll be Kobo, and I think it's Overdrive. Yeah. So, and that's for, the different countries where they can go and purchase as well.
Do you have social media where people can ask you questions or stuff?
I have my personal social media. I don't have a social media just for my book because, like I said, it's just me. I'm only one person, and I do what I can. I try to, keep it at a minimum so I won't get overwhelmed. But I do have my personal social media, and that is where I do a lot of my work. I have Instagram and TikTok, but I don't, that was for like my nail business, but I don't deal with that anymore. It's just,
Yeah.
I try to keep it where I can maintain it.
Actually, when you do the second book, I recommend you that you make at least a Facebook page for dedicated to your books.
Okay.
It does help.
I will do that. I might just do it for this book. I haven't had, I can't say I haven't had the time, but it's just, I'm doing a lot. Like I'm going through this book publishing. I do nails. I work in the construction field. Like I'm inspiring, motivating, encouraging people in the world. Like I'm doing what God called me to do.
Well, Lakenia, thank you so much for coming and for the inspiration.
Thank you for having me.
Well, this was another episode of Writing Inspiration with Markee Books. Thank you for coming. Bye. Bye.